Hi y'all, my name is C, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I read in January. So in January, I read a total of 9 books. I am super happy with what I read because pretty much everything that I read I really enjoyed. There was nothing on this list that I was meh about. I really enjoyed everything that I read this month, which is always a great feeling. Also, in terms of the New Year's goals for myself, I definitely did achieve all of them. My New Year's goals were that every month I wanted to read at least one graphic novel, one collection of poetry, and one nonfiction, and I did all of those this month, which I am very proud of myself for. Without any further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the books that I read in January. So the first book that I finished this month was one that I started in late December and then finished in January, and that was a book that I listened to an audiobook, and that book was Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. This was a memoir that Tina Fey released, and it talks about everything from her starting as an improv actress to her being on SNL and writing for SNL, and just her life in general, and writing 30 Rock and all that kind of stuff. It was really enjoyable. I personally, for me, am not going to be rating any nonfictions that I read just because it doesn't super make sense to rate someone's life story. I did think it was a very fun book to listen to though. If you are interested in checking out Bossy Pants, I would definitely recommend picking it up in audiobook since Tina Fey herself narrates it. The next book that I picked up, which was also on audio, was Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Since I enjoyed Bossy Pants so much, I decided I wanted another comedian's memoir. Again, I really enjoyed it. Again, not giving it a rating. But what I really appreciated about Amy Poehler's biography, autobiography, was that she talked a lot about mistakes that she's made, both in her personal life and in her career, and has talked a lot about the idea of owning up when you make a mistake, and of being yes, I did something that was super problematic, here's how I want to remedy it. I thought it was a really enjoyable book. Again, I would definitely recommend picking this one up on audio because Amy Poehler is hilarious as she narrates it. She brings in guest narrators for chapters. It's a very good time, very quick read. I heavily enjoyed it. The next book that I read this month was one that I read for a buddy read. I was not originally planning on reading this book this month, but I'm so happy I did because I really enjoyed it, and that was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I, again, was not planning on reading this, but with the new book coming out in February, me and some of my friends were like, what if we read all the books? I've never read these books before. It was enjoyable though. For those of you who don't know what A Court of Thorns and Roses is about, it is a fae story that takes inspiration from both the myth of Hades and Persephone, as well as being a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It would be classified, in my opinion, as new adult fantasy. It's enjoyable. It's trash. Don't get me wrong. It is absolute trash, but it's fun trash, and it's trash I really enjoyed reading. I have been reading all of those books right now, so I will show you the next book that I read, which was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas. Very good. This one I liked even more than the first one. A Court of Thorns and Roses I gave 3 out of 5 stars. This one I gave 4 out of 5. Again, I enjoyed both of them a lot. I've been having fun just reading through all the books at once. I think that is kind of the best way to read them, just because I feel like they are better when you can just be absorbed in the trash all the time. I'm not going to tell you what the second one's about because it's, a sequel. You need to read the first one first. I would recommend these books, especially if you are looking for a pretty lighthearted, just fun little fantasy. Again, they're not great books. They are, the writing is pretty fine. It's kind of mediocre. It's all right. But the story is really fun, and the characters are really enjoyable, and you find yourself getting very invested in these soap opera type situations that are happening. The next book that I read this month was Ms. Marvel Volume 1. This was a reread for me. I have been wanting to get back into graphic novels, and I was like, what if I just picked up stuff that I read years and years ago? So I reread this. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. I love Ms. Marvel so much. I am such a big fan of the storyline they're making for her, and it was really fun to revisit the roots and how she got her powers and all that kind of stuff. For those of you who don't know Ms. Marvel, this one is a story about a girl who ends up getting powers. She is very into fandom, like culture. She has a Avengers fanfic online that she writes. She's very into playing video games. It's just a like good, wholesome time. It makes a lot of commentary on the idea of like how people perceive teenagers, and how people like will cast judgments on a generation, just based on the fact they're a part of that generation. It's a whole lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm probably gonna pick up more of these soon. I have a few more of the like smaller like trade bind-ups, not the big ones like this. But I am looking at picking up another one soon. I'm very behind on the series. I haven't read something new from it in like 3 years probably. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's like a whole lot of fun. It's good. It's very good. Another book that I was reading all throughout the month was Damnatio Memoriae by Dia Pel Real. This is a self-published poetry collection that one of my very good friends put out, actually. They're such a sweetheart. I know they are still selling copies of their poetry collection. It's so good. Like, it's so fantastic, and I am not saying that just because I know them and because I love them very much, but also because, like, their writing is incredible. It is an impeccable collection. I definitely recommend picking this up. I'm going to link their Instagram below if you are interested in picking up a copy. I know they still have a few like physical copies left, and they're selling digital e-copies as well. So I'm going to link that Instagram down below in case any of y'all want to check it out. The next two books I read were Saga Volumes 1 and Volume 2. I got Volume 2 from my library. I have Volume 3 sitting over there. I just have not read it yet. I love Saga so much. These are graphic novels these are both rereads for me, and I'm so happy to be back in this world and like continue on with the series further than I got the first time. They're so good. Okay, so this is basically, there is this planet and it has a moon, and the planet and the moon have been warring for forever. But they realize they can never fully destroy each other because gravity. So if, you know, one gets knocked out of orbit, it's going to screw up the orbit of the other one. So they go, and these armies go and like invade other planets to fight this war that's been going on forever on. Then we have our two main characters, who are soldiers from, one is from the moon, one is from the planet, and they end up having a baby together. Scandalous. It's very scandalous. And they end up having to like run away together to raise their kid and find safety and find shelter, and it is so good. I rated the first one 5 out of 5 stars and the second one 4 out of 5. I like these even more now than the first time I read them. I want to say like 13, 14 the first time I read these. They're so good. There is some like NSFW content in these, so if that is something that you are sensitive to, just want to let you know. There's some nudity in these. There's some sexual activity in these. Just be aware. But these are so fantastic. I'm so excited to continue on reading this series. I know also that it was recently announced that the series is coming back this year, so I'm going to try to get caught back up before they start coming out again. Ugh, they're so good. They're so good. The last book that I read this month was The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This follows a woman who is living in a dystopian version of the United States, in which a group of religious extremists have like taken over the government. And so she is a handmaid, which means that her whole job is to bear children. That's her whole job. I really enjoyed this book. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. If you want to hear more of my in-depth thoughts about it, I did do a full review for it, and I will tag that down below. Alrighty everyone, so that is all of the books that I read this month in January. Again, I really enjoyed all the books that I read, which like makes me very happy. I'm also reading some good books this month, I already know, because I'm like in the middle of a good book, and then I have more things on hold for me at the library right now, so I'll be getting those this month. And yeah, I hope you all had a good month, but please let me know in the comments, like, if you read anything in January, what was your favorite thing that you read? Down below, I have my Goodreads and my Instagram linked if you want to follow me on there. I also run a weekly virtual writing called The Writer's Zoom every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have that Instagram link below as well if you would like to check it out. And if not, I hope you have a great day and a very good week, and I will see you all in another video. Bye!